Hi, this is Jessica Graham Robinson with SacredSpaceHealingArts.com, and today I wanted to talk to you about how to teach your kids about handling their emotions. Last week I did a video talking about using EFT, emotional freedom technique, or tapping, and also essential oils as ways that we can holistically deal with the root of what's going on with us. When these big, heavy emotions come up, what are we to do? In our current everyday walking around busy lives, there's a tendency to stuff things down, and it's really unhealthy. And when we stuff these things down, they're not going away. Just because we're not doing something with the emotion doesn't mean that that it's not going to cause us problems. In fact, it's going to cause us a lot more problems. It's going to come out in other ways. And so when we can acknowledge it, right, the feeling, the emotions don't need to stay stuck, they need to move. And so when we can acknowledge them and really feel them, then we can allow them to move out. And so since we weren't necessarily taught these tools as parents, we and adults, we need to learn them, but then we need to start also moving them on to our children. So this morning I had a rough morning again with my oldest son, and there's nothing inherently bad about either of us. We are wonderful people. We love each other. But we get stuck in what each of us, like what we're dealing with, and holding on to these emotions. He is an Aries and I am an Aries moon. And so we both have that like very fiery, strong, emotional component to our personalities. And for him, especially because he's younger, he doesn't know how to express it. He doesn't know how to get that out. And so today, after asking him this morning over and over to share with me, and him not being able to share, but me seeing that he was so stuck in these feelings, it finally occurred to me to teach him emotional freedom technique. And so we sat down. There was a little bit of resistance from him in the beginning, but it ended up being so much better, and I taught him how he can help himself to feel better. He can help himself to feel better in the moment. And another thing that came out of it that was really unexpected until it did was that we all have uncomfortable emotions, and not just sadness or hurt or anger or things that are literally uncomfortable just because they don't feel good, right? But then there's the other kind of thoughts and emotions and feelings that we have where we have either thoughts or emotions or feelings that we know are not good, that we know are not right? So like, for instance, if I have a thought towards another person that is very, very mean, I don't like that, and I know that I'm not supposed to feel that way. And so there's even more of a tendency to kind of stuff it down. There's a couple different ways that it plays out. It can either get stuffed down, or it can get like transposed, or like you can actually see it in other people and blame and call it out on other people when you don't see it in yourself. And so I had that conversation today about how sometimes you do have terrible feelings about another person. Sometimes you have mean feelings and want something bad to happen to a person. Sometimes that just happens. And you can't be mad at yourself or even disacknowledge that thought or that feeling. Instead, you tap it out. So what we did this morning was, even though I have these mean feelings towards whoever, I still love and accept myself completely. And I'm going to share something. Like, it was really difficult for my son to say those words, I love and accept myself completely. And I think that's where it came from. So once I realized that it was he was having these thoughts, these feelings that were negative, like towards me or towards his brother, and that's okay, and that's normal, that we have these feelings, and we don't disacknowledge them, but we actually like say like, yeah, I feel this way, and I don't want to feel this way, but I do, and I'd like to feel better. I'd like to not feel this way, but I feel this way, right? So we went through this series and of points and the dialoguing with ourselves, and it was really wonderful to see the transformation in him go from a place of not even being able to talk about his feelings, but being so stuck in them, to actually smiling and feeling lighter. And I saw the lightness and I felt the lightness, and we were able to move on to what was next, and it was amazing. So teach your kids about emotion, and even when it's difficult to see it or to feel it or to experience it in yourself or in another person, to allow it, right? This stuff is definitely countercultural right now, and it's also, like I said, many of us didn't grow up with any of these skills, and so it's a learning curve. It's a very big learning curve, and I screw up a lot, and I'm still in it. I'm still on this path and working towards it, because I have always been clear that I wanted to raise emotionally intelligent and healthy, emotionally healthy humans, especially boys, because that's what I have, and because a lot of times it's not a secret that men have had to shove down their feelings from a very, very young age. I mean, we all have, but especially boys. And that creates a lot of the anger that comes up later on in the teenage years and in young adulthood, and abusive relationships. It goes on and on and on, and of course that happens on both sides, but it is a big problem. So we need to learn to nurture emotions in our boys, and nurture the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and how we play together, and how we all need that balance. And so that's my wisdom for this week. If you didn't see the tapping video, it is on this page a little further down, so just scroll down and check it out. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, where you'll find lots of helpful videos on yoga and holistic living. And as always, if you have questions, I love questions, because I love conversations and I want to be in one with you. So if you have a question or a comment, if you've tried this, what's your experience with your kids and emotions? So comment below, and like I said, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll post the link in this post. I hope you have a wonderful week, and happy hump day. Namaste.